Yo, 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 what is going on, RoK Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder. And today, I wanted to touch on, I actually got a question on my Discord, I think it was yesterday, the day before, and individual was asking, why not just start with a few alliances, right? Let's say you are a group, whether it's a jumper project or you just have a group of people that are going into a brand new kingdom. Why just not start off with two or three alliances, right? Why not two, three, or four, right? Why not even just one? And in this video, I'm going to talk about the psychology, the process, the strategy behind why it is that you do not want to do that based on if you're trying to create the highest percentage chances possible to get a majority control slash presence within the kingdom. And this is, of course, going to be for new kingdoms, whether it's new veteran players. If you're going into a kingdom day one, this is how you really want to approach it, and I'm going to take some time to explain why. As always, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you sub, like, ring the notification bell, and of course, if you want to join and be a part of our conversation, hit up the Discord. You can find a link to that in the pinned comment description down below. All right, so I'm just here on Random Kingdom right now, but the main reason here that it really comes down to is you want to have presence in each province. You want to have an alliance in each of the 6 Zone 1 provinces so you can have insight into what is going on there, and more so specific insight. Because if you're in a province, most of the time you are going to be looking at what's happening in your province first before you potentially go out and start looking at other provinces. So you're more involved within your immediate vicinity than you are in areas that people can't really get to you, so to speak, that soon or that early. And because of that, you will be more privy to communications, to information, to moves that people are being made, because you're looking at that province you're in and seeing who's putting a CF down where, what direction are they flagging, what have they grabbed already, have you had any altercations. Those are typically going to happen a lot earlier, and by having presence in each province, it allows for you to essentially be providing yourself with real-time updates. And that, let me say, the flow of information is drastically important. When you can control or have a filter on information slash communication flow, that helps out that much more when it factors into how you're doing diplomacy, how you're engaging with other alliances, the conversations that you may or may not have, maybe how you position a discussion, maybe the perspective or the approach that you take to a discussion, whether it's with a lead or a diplomacy rep. Just being able to show that you have coverage across the entire map. Also, and this is probably the next biggest point, is that it allows for you to be fluid in the movement of players within your group. If you need to go and occupy a certain shell or alliance that's within a certain province, you can. If you need to send support to one or to the other, you can, through the use of your teleports. I should say some teleports. And because of this, it gives you that much more opportunity to, maybe address rogue players or rogue alliances if they're hopping or if they're causing havoc to other alliances who don't want to fight. They just want to be able to grow and play and then participate in KVK. It lets you have a high chance of bringing a order, if you will, a structure to the kingdom early on, because you are able to have your finger on the pulse in each starting area and essentially kingdom wide, because everyone is going to get populated into his own one province, and then it's just a matter of how many people are continuing onward from there. So zone 1 is the kingdom when the game starts off, and that's where the majority, the bulk, if not all of the player base eventually will be, right, once it's cut off and then a new server opens and you're not getting any more new player or jumping flow that's coming in as well, either or. So these are just things to consider and think about when you are going in. If you want to give your group the best chances, this is why you start with 6 alliances, right? If people asked me, would I ever start with less? No, I wouldn't. I have never done a project with less than 6 alliances. And every single one of my projects all had their kingdoms unified within the first week or two. And we were the biggest presence, biggest majority, and every project I've ever done has always had that initial early foothold on a kingdom. And that is a very gratifying feeling. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're delaying things that are happening, or you're allowing for uprisings or for rogues to kind of take control and other people to lose faith in you. That may cause them to leave, even if they're there and not wanting to fight. There's a lot of stuff that goes into how you're going to build the kingdom, keep activity high, and have really good player retention. And this is one of the best, if not the best approach at minimum that you can do if you are looking to unite your kingdom early on. This is the best way to do it. It doesn't mean that it's the only way, but it is the best way because of the reasons that I've described. And so I hope that this helps for those of you that are, either looking to get into jumping, you're a new player, you're going into a kingdom, maybe you're maybe you joined an alliance, that alliance just didn't end up working out for whatever reason. Come back and watch this video. You'll understand why, at least the most likely reasons on why. And I hope that for those that are still here, you enjoyed. I hope you appreciate the insight, at least from my perspective and approach, on why I would do certain things and kind of the pros and cons of those. This to me is a lost art. I love talking about these things, and thankfully a lot of my experience that I've had in Kingdom Builders thus far, and the knowledge that I've accumulated through my time of just educating myself, asking the right questions, and learning, and just clicking and reading things that I think helps, has been something I love sharing, and I love bringing a different side of content to RoK for you, the community. Alrighty, that is it for me. I would love to hear your comments down below. Have you ever been in a situation where if you just had more alliances, more than 2, 3, or 4 alliances, you felt or even feel that the situation could have been better? If maybe a group you were in didn't have 6 alliances minimum, did you notice anything at all for a few of the points that I touched on? Whether it was day 1, it happened week 1, week 2, is anything I'm saying familiar to you? If you are someone who's been in a jump project, you've been an officer, a lead, or a project founder, have you noticed any of these things that have happened or didn't happen because the amount of alliances and or the level of preparedness that you went in with, right, just wasn't enough at that time? I would love to hear. Again, I always enjoy reading the comments on people's stories and experiences. So if you want to leave one right down there, that is it for me. As always, until next time, I'll catch y'all later.